The Mangostau Bay is a vast water area of the North Caspian Sea, stretching for 80 kilometers. On one side, there are the slopes of the Mangostau Plateau, and on the other side, a line of islands spread out into the sea. There are several roads leading here, but the most important one is on the Kanga area. In the Turkmen language, Kanga means fortress. When this name appeared and why it stuck here is difficult to say. It's hard to believe that there was once a fortification here. However, who knows? This region is rich in historical events and is still relatively unexplored. Perhaps the bay was named Kanga because it served as a shelter for fishermen from destructive waves during squalls and storms in the open sea. After all, the Caspian Sea is dangerous and unpredictable. From the plateau, a serpentine road leads down the see-through terraces. These terraces have been forming for tens, if not hundreds of thousands of years. And they demonstrate how the sea receded, returned, and receded again. The entire evolution of the Caspian Sea is reflected in these terraces. Each terrace represents a specific stability, followed by rapid changes. Under their influence, some species of animal and plant life disappear, while others, on the contrary, adapt and survive. Among the survivors is the seal. It not only survived, but also became a thriving species, the top of the food chain in the Caspian Sea animal ecosystem. The sea is receding even now, and the reasons behind it remain unknown. It is a mystery, the enigma of the sea. But there are other environmental issues that have a negative impact on the Caspian seal. In the 20th century, the Caspian Sea experienced all the issues of the Industrial Revolution. The rich natural resources of the sea and its basin are extracted and consumed by the 5 Caspian states. The construction of cities, plants, factories and dams, along with intensive agricultural practices involving the use of fertilizers and pesticides, as well as oil and gas extraction, have turned the Caspian Sea into a recipient of various polluted effluents. The marine ecosystem is experiencing a state of shock. Pathologies and diseases are developing in the organisms of marine inhabitants, leading to the death of animals, reduction in their reproduction, and decline in population size. All these negative processes have an impact on the Caspian seal. While until the mid-20th century, hunting was the main cause of the decline in their population, now pollution, habitat degradation, and bycatch in fishing nets are leading to the death of seals and pose a threat to their complete extinction. One of the methods of protecting the marine mammal is the conservation of the areas where the seal currently resides. or used to inhabit in the past. The islands located in the northern part of the Mangestau Bay are situated along the seal migration routes. Therefore, these islands have formed numerous haulouts where the marine mammals gather. But it was here that the seals became easy prey during hunting. They were hunted and driven away from these islands. However, the name Tuleni, or Seal Islands, remained. How can we bring the seals back to their native islands? Indeed, the Mangestau Bay is an important fishing area of the Caspian Sea. Not long ago, the Caspian Sea was the primary supplier of black caviar to the global market. However, in the 1960s, due to a decline in the population of sturgeon fish, fixed gill nets largely ceased to be used in most parts of the Caspian Sea. They were banned in the Soviet Union to prevent the catching of young fish and to increase the reproduction of valuable fish species. The exploitation of fish stocks was carried out by fishing nets during the spawning season in the rivers that flow into the Caspian Sea, the Volga and the Ural. Soon, the volumes of commercial extraction of sturgeons increased again. A lot has changed since then. The Soviet Union has disappeared. The use of nets has been resumed in the newly formed countries. Sturgeon stocks have once again critically declined, and poaching has reached huge levels. In the early 21st century, the volume of poaching in the Caspian Sea exceeded legal fishing by 10 or even 40 times. Therefore, since 2012, a ban on commercial sturgeon fishing has been in effect throughout the Caspian Sea. However, poaching still persists, and sturgeon continue to be legally fished. The fate of sturgeon and the Caspian seal are closely intertwined. Caspian seals often get entangled in large mesh sturgeon nets and perish as a result. Therefore, in 2020, Kazakhstan stopped the use of gill fishing nets in its part of the Caspian Sea, except the coastal areas. But continuous monitoring of the state of valuable biological resources remains essential. For the fourth year in a row, research and cleaning efforts have been conducted on the Tabkaragan Peninsula and Tuleni Islands archipelago to remove marine debris. The next stage of our work is the Mangestau Bay. It is important to assess the extent of pollution by marine debris in the bay and its coastline. The calm sea unfolded before us. It may seem that this part of the Caspian Sea is untouched by busy human activities. There is no industrial exploration of natural resources, and no fishing vessels are anchored in the bay. An abandoned village on the shore and an old boat only enhance the impression of a deserted area. We have set up our field camp and asked the inhabitants of the bay's coastline to welcome us. we're getting accustomed to each other, and we're adapting to the local conditions. However, our main goal is to study and understand the extent of human influence in such a remote area, far from populated regions. How can humans impact nature? And how can we help the main inhabitant of the sea, the Caspian seal? The work carried out over the following days revealed a disturbing picture. Plastic and glass bottles, bags, and many other things referred to as garbage were encountered at every step along the bay's coastline, confirming that humans are frequent visitors here. Over a distance of more than 100 kilometers, approximately 5 tons of marine debris were collected. Out of the 5 tons, 3 tons were abandoned fishing nets. On average, there were over 280 kilograms of nets per square kilometer, with approximately half of them being large mesh nets used for sturgeon fishing. The majority of the discarded nets were found within a range of 50 to 100 meters from the waterline, indicating that they had been washed ashore during periods of higher sea levels. No nets were found in the open sea. This implies that currently, significantly fewer fishing nets are being either discarded or washed ashore by the sea on the coast of Mangestau Bay compared to recent past. Only 2 seals out of the 140 discovered were found dead in fishing nets. This is 10 times fewer than in other areas surrounding Toleni Seal Islands. The low number of seals found in fishing nets is reassuring. However, is this cause for premature celebration? Throughout the entire expedition, we did not encounter or observe a single seal in Mangestau Bay. This is a concerning sign. Perhaps there are simply no seals in the bay, and they do not venture here. Why? The exact reason is currently unknown. Mortality studies reveal a precarious situation in the seal population. The animals do not live to reach the old age range, which lasts from 32 to 50 years. More than a half of all the deceased seals consist of pups and young individuals under the age of 3. The causes of mortality of the majority of seals are unknown. But perhaps the answer lies right beneath our feet. Discarded nets, plastic bags, and bottles degrade under the influence of sunlight and water, becoming microplastics and macroplastics. This is another source of pollution. Microplastics and macroplastics are dispersed by the wind. Research has shown that they are present in high concentrations in the water, sand, and soil along the coastline. Macroplastics have also been found in the stomachs and intestines of fish, that are part of the Caspian seal's diet. Currently, reliable data on the impact of microplastics on seals is yet to be found, but they enter the seal's organism through the food chain. Like any foreign object, microplastics can harm the animal, increasing the risk of premature death. Even in the absence of sufficient data, it is important to adapt a precautionary approach and minimize human impact on the marine ecosystem without waiting for irreversible consequences to occur. The issue of disregarded fishing nets and marine debris cannot be considered in isolation from other aspects of marine mammal habitat conservation. A comprehensive approach is required. It is necessary to establish a specifically protected natural area, a state nature reserve, develop an action plan for the conservation of the Caspian seal, and foster intergovernmental cooperation among the Caspian countries. Creating a state nature reserve is not only preserving the habitat of the marine mammal, but also a crucial element of environmental education, a significant investment in the future, and a source of new income for the local population. And it all starts with something simple. Don't litter. Clean up after yourself. Keep your eyes forward. Do everything to protect the Caspian seal.